Hey, when we get done here, you guys want to do karate in the garage?
The problem with getting to work on time is it makes the day so long.
We win the Mike McDaniel sweepstakes. Yay!
Hold up. It's the Chargers squad. Everything Los Angeles Chargers every week. Covering all the big hits and game-changing plays from the City of Angels. The way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. Get ready and squad up. It's the Chargers Squad Show, starting now.
Jim, where the hell did you get real confetti?
Right.
Did you make that?
Talk about being prepared.
Love it. Welcome to the Locked On Chargers Squad Show, Thursday edition. Pete Fox, covering sports in LA since 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Kenjon Barner, 3 trophies and 10 years in the league. And Jim Daniels covering sports in LA for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio and everyone else since 2001. Today's
Free
episode.
hot dogs for 20 years, man. 20 years of free hot dogs in the press box. Let's go.
Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Well, we our prayers were answered, yes, but nothing is official yet. I'm a little apprehensive about that, but everyone's talking about it as if Mike McDaniel is a done deal to be the Chargers OC. All the reputable news sources are saying that he is agreed to this deal, but he has not signed anything. I saw a story from the NFL Network yesterday, said he's still taking interviews. I'm like, what? I think that's just, they're probably just wrong. That's wrong. That story's wrong. But let's just go with the assumption that Mike McDaniel will be coming to Los Angeles, back to California. Of course, he was the Niners OC before going to South Florida. So we look at what he brings to the table. And when you hear it, I mean, look, I just thought, KB, that it was too good to be true, right? It all seemed to make the most sense, but I just thought it was too good to be true. Like, can we really get exactly what we're wanting, what we're asking for? And a lot of other pundits and people were like, why would Mike McDaniel not want this job? Look at what he's got to work with. And I think that's a big part of the story. And I think it's encouraging for us as fans, right? Like, yes, it's not all that bad. It was just, it needs a fine tune, a tune up. It's like, we don't need to buy a new car. We don't need to break it down. We just need a little tune up. And Mike McDaniel, to me, is going to bring that tune up and make this team better. And here's the number one thing that I read that I like about this. And I want both of you guys' opinion on this. Mike McDaniel is going to tailor this offense around Justin Herbert. Amen. Amen.
What an idea. Wow.
What do you do best? Great. Let's do that. How do you love that, KB?
Listen, it's about time. I mean, why else would you tailor your offense around anybody else besides your quarterback, right? The quarterback is the most important piece of the puzzle to this team. Why would you not have the offense primarily built around him and built for him? He's the guy who's running the show, snapping the ball. He's touching the ball more than anybody on the team. So I am ecstatic to hear that. I think sometimes in the NFL, common sense is just too common. So it's great to hear somebody come in and say, hey, we're going to tailor this offense to the guy that's going to be running the offense.
You got to love that, right, Jim? That's what we need.
Exactly what we need. And to this guy's point here is SoCal Charger fan. I mean, somebody could make adjustments, and I'm going to add to that on the fly. I mean, this is a guy that is smart enough and creative enough, and he's starting off exotic to begin with. We know that, but I mean, this is a guy that is going to be able to make in-game adjustments. And that's something that I think where we really saw the Chargers fail in this last game is they were unable to break away from what they walked through the door with. They got punched in the mouth and made a big mistake and up, and they were on their heels, and that was it. They weren't able to recover. I expect McDaniel to be, next level when it comes to that kind of thing, because, you have all that head coaching stuff off your shoulders, off your plate. I'm not sure that everyone understands, the casual football fan really understands everything that encompasses that job. And a lot of it has, and I'm going to say maybe even most of it has nothing to do with football. It has to do with PR, managing people, managing managers, managing the media, managing the owner. as if you play for Buffalo, and what a piece of work that guy is.
Jesus.
Right? What a loser. But yeah, no, this is just what the doctor ordered. It's exactly what we want. And I'm excited about this guy on multiple levels.
Another thing that, as far as buzzwords and descriptions of what, McDaniel does and how it will work for the offense, is a condensed formation is another 2 words that I was like, yes, that works for me because of guys like Ledidi McConkey, right? When we get Ledidi in a condensed tight formation, where you get him the ball quickly, swing routes, bubble screens, those kinds of things, which reportedly McDaniel likes to do a lot. That's a good thing for this offense. And then here's the other big thing. And KB, I want you to just kind of, break it down for us regular types, not former NFL players, because they talk a lot about how this is going to help. Having Mike McDaniel is going to help the rushing attack. And obviously we know that we know that Jim Harbaugh likes to run the ball, and we know that Omari and Hampton is a growing star. So explain to me, just give me some X's and O's on how Mike McDaniel is going to because we had what we thought was an emphasized run game. How is it going to be different?
It really wasn't. We can't say it was emphasized as much as we would have liked it to have been. It definitely was not. It wasn't that under Greg Roman. Even going back to the J.K. Dobbin days and Gus Edwards, it just wasn't simply that. But when you talk about Mike McDaniel's, it's about committing to the run. You don't even have to go into the scheme and gaps. You don't have to go into. You just strictly have to focus on the numbers. And I think it was 2021, I believe it, or a little bit after that, in Tua's season where he threw for over 4,000 yards, the running game still had 456 carries. That's the entire running game, 456 carries. You go to 2021 when he was with the 49ers, Elijah Mitchell had 207 carries for 960 yards with a 4.7 average. Then you get to A-Chain this season, 238 carries for 1350, 5.7 and 8. The previous season, he had 203 for 907 and 4.5. The team had 432 carries. And the previous season, they had 448 carries. It's simple. Commit to the run, and that's one thing he is going to do. Tua threw for, like I said, for 4,000 yards, threw the ball 500 times, but that offense still ran the ball 400 times. So it's about committing to the run, trusting your guys with the ball in their hand. That's where you're going to see a complete increase in run. That's where you're going to see this run game take off, is giving Hampton the amount of carries that he deserves, giving Kamani Vidal, giving whoever's going to be after, because that's something that we got to get into, but giving these guys the opportunity to run the ball. Like, we can't just put the game primarily in Herbert's hand and say, hey, go get it done. No, a balanced attack is what McDaniels brings to this organization.
So it's as simple as it sounds. This is what Jim said. We've said this all year. Jim's been saying this. Just give him the ball more.
When you have capable guys, when you have talented guys, and he's had that. Raheem Mostert, Devon A-Chain, Elijah Mitchell, going back to the 49ers, he's had guys that can run the football, and he has a guy in Omari and Hampton who has proven, if you give me the ball, I can make something shake. I can make it happen. I can make explosive runs, 40-yard runs. I can do it. Just give me the ball. Give me an opportunity to go and do what you drafted me for. And that's what Mike McDaniel does. He puts the ball in the running back hands and says, go make a play. And then you get into scheme. There's one thing about formations. Coach Kelly used to say this all the time. We're going to run the same stuff out of the same formation, dressed up a million different ways so the defense can never get a beat on it. And when you look at Josh McDaniels, he dresses his formations up. He dresses the run game up. It's a beautiful mirage of things in front of you that you're trying to figure out. But by the time you figure it out, it's too late. The running back is 5-6 yards up on you. So it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And I think you were right, Jim, in saying that. I think you mentioned this before we started, that when you look at what the Chargers had to offer, why, not just the team, the area, I'm sure he'll be paid handsomely. Mike McDaniel, it's not a tough decision to make, right?
No, it's an easy decision to make, especially when you're looking around. I mean, you're going to go get a place in Manhattan Beach. You're going to drive about 5 minutes to SoFi to go to work, where you're going to saddle up with Justin Herbert and talk to him about running the stuff that you want to run. And Harbaugh takes all the heat and all the pressers and everything. You make a ton of money and hop in your convertible and go home when you're done, instead of staying there till 3:00 in the morning wondering what you're going to say to the media when ABCD happens. No, it's terrific. It's perfect for him. He had a taste of that head coaching thing. This is not as great as they made it up to be. Maybe it is if you go all the way to the Super Bowl, but this is the job. You get to be creative. You get to do your thing. I saw you put up a post from James, Miami fan, says you're going to love this guy. And what I want to say about that is the fans are excited about an offensive coordinator. KB, how excited are the players?
Man, listen, I would imagine I've been up under Greg Roman, great dude. So no slight to him, but when you have somebody that's coming in with a level of creativity that Mike McDaniel has, when you have someone coming in where you've seen what he can do with an offense with a lesser talented quarterback in Tua, and still make that offense look you are absolutely, if I'm Quentin Johnston, if I'm Lab McConkey, if I'm Oronde Gaston, if I'm any of these guys, I'm getting my bag ready right now, because I know I got an offensive coordinator that's going to draw some stuff up and put me in the best position possible to go out here and make plays. Like, this dude is exactly what Herbert needed. He's exactly what this offense needed. He's exactly what this team needs.
Yeah, this guy's saying expect formations teams have never seen before, leaving opponents clueless. The other thing that I like in the description of what he brings to the table, condensed formations, as I mentioned, but he exploits the middle of the field. Tell me a little bit about that, KB. What's the benefit of exploiting the middle of the field versus the edges of the field?
Well, you got to take advantage of all areas of the field. If a defense can primarily key you into, okay, this is where this offense attacks, let's take that away. Again, we always talked about this during the season, becoming one-dimensional, not having any other options. But when you attack the middle of the field, it forces to defense. You really can't key in. You have to open. You have to open up to everything, and that's what it does. It's a absolute amazing. I'm excited. I want to put some pads on and go play for this dude. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal to see this offense.
James Steele, hang on, I can't find it now. Maybe it's premature. Hang on. Well, yeah, we all think that. But we're going with the assumption that it is done. Because according to a lot of people, no, it's not official yet. So, maybe if it's not and he ends up somewhere else, that's a whole nother show. But now,
heartbreak. Now,
Mike McDaniel is the new OC as far as we know and are concerned. After the break, we're going to talk about whether the Chargers need a new center. I know there are a handful of people in this chat day after day that say yes. So we'll talk about that after the break. It's the Locked On Chargers squad show on the Locked On Chargers.
Sorry, Bose. Gotta go.
Today's episode of the Locked On Chargers squad show is brought to you by Robinhood. What if sports were traded like markets? Now you can put your sports IQ to work in real time with Robinhood prediction markets. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. You can buy or sell your positions live all game long. Use your sports knowledge in the moments that matter. Robinhood prediction markets change the game. It's people moving the action. So when the momentum shifts, you can shift with it. You're no longer just a spectator. Play by play, you decide. Trade every play with Robinhood, now available across the U.S. Download the Robinhood app to begin. Futures are cleared. Swaps trading involves significant risk and not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant swap firm. Today's episode also brought to you by Game Time. NFL season coming to a close. We got three more games, and there's a perfect time if you're in one of those cities to head down there and try to find some tickets last minute, because that's what Game Time does best. Because there's nothing like being there, especially for a big time playoff game like we got coming up here in the NFL. The crowd noise, the energy, the cheering alongside other fans watching at home is great, but in the stadium it hits different. That's why Game Time app gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing NFL deals on tickets and experiences in just a few taps. One of the great things about Game Time, and there are many, they have zone deals where you can put in on a specific zone. You can wait till an hour before the game and save money that way, and you get views from the seats. So great ways to find deals and make sure you're getting a good seat and a good view. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, use the code LOCKEDONNFL, and you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account. LOCKEDONNFL is the password, and use that for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today and get back to being there live. All right, so we believe that Mike McDaniel will be the new OC of the Chargers. And among other things that need to improve on this team, the offensive line. Now, obviously, two of the main figures in this offensive line were injured. So once those guys get back, that's going to help a tremendous amount. But one guy that made it through the whole season that a lot of people have not liked all season long is Bradley Bozeman. And, you know, he is a 31-year-old veteran, been around for a while, but for whatever reason, his play elicited a lot of ire from the fans. And I have to assume that, you know, fans know what they're talking about. A lot of times they feel like they know more than they do, but I saw it too, right? We all saw it. There were times you would get beat left, right, and center. So how important is it, Jim, that they figure this problem out to just like beef up this line even better than we think it can be?
You know, there's layers to everything, and I always kind of bow to KB because he's at the player level. He put the pads on. He got on the field. You know, he had the confetti rain on him and all of that. And then, you know, we do this for a living, so we've got our nose in it all the time, in season, off season, stuff like that. And so, you know, it kind of trickles down to the fans. But my nephew Matt, when this happened, when the McDaniel news broke, my nephew's a lifelong Charger fan, living in Texas and in the military, and he hit me up right away as soon as that, because he goes, "Now all we need is a center and we're good." That's coming from a fan, all right? The first thing he said was, "Now we need is a center." And I go, you know, that maybe that's the number one pick in the draft for this team this year. I would hope so, that it would be offensive line, and that would be the good spot to start, is right in the middle where we have issues. But I just thought, you know, that was a great analogy as to, you know, how important this is to even the fans, because the fans more sophisticated now than ever. I mean, with the internet and smartphones and all this kind of stuff, the fan knows more about the game and the players than they ever have before. And, you know, we prove it at Locked On all the time.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a no-brainer. We absolutely need a new face at center. Speaking of faces, I've seen Bozeman's face, have seen his face mask far too often watching games. I should only be able to see your nameplate as an offensive lineman. I should never see your face. If I see your face, we are in bad shape. And far too often, I was able to see my guy's face mask. I was able to see his eyes, and that's just not what we wanted. Like, I know everybody's into numbers, right? And so when you sent the question, I was like, okay, well, let me look some stuff up. Let me see if my guy was really as bad as everybody painted him to be, or maybe I was seeing something. And so we go by the NFL PFF grades, right? And so they grade you on pass blocking, run blocking, penalties, pressures allowed, all that type of stuff, right? So it's a grading scale going up to 100. And so anything in the 50s we would consider a fail. Piss poor, awful. Do we want to guess what Bozeman's grade was at the end of the season?
Was it even 50? I heard he was the worst in the league.
He was absolute dead bottom of the barrel last. Some reports they looked at 41 different centers. I'm sorry, there's only 32 teams in the NFL. Who are we looking at? But my guy had a 51.1 PFF grade. Brother, you gotta go. I mean, maybe keep him as a backup. You know, he has experience. But at the end of the day, listen, if the middle of my offensive line is weak, I really don't stand a chance. The edges could be the quickest way to the quarterback is a straight line. And if I'm right in front of the center and I can beat my center, I'm right in the face of the quarterback. So, again, I never want to call for somebody to lose their job. But Bozeman, you gotta get the hell up out of here, brother. You ain't got it. You can't stay, but you damn sure gotta go.
Bozeman ranked 38 out of 38 out of centers this year. Literally 5 backup centers on other teams were better than him, and he was a captain on our team.
Crazy, but he was a Greg Roman guy. He was in Baltimore. He was the center in Baltimore for Lamar Jackson and Greg Roman. He was there when I was there. So, again, this is the NFL operates on a buddy system sometimes. I know you, I like you, you're familiar with my system. It doesn't matter if I play with some guys. Listen, everybody in the NFL is not NFL caliber talent. And I'm not saying Bozeman is not, but I played with some guys like, well, how are you here? Like who do you know?
How did you get here?
Really, in all honesty. And so, I know the GM is close with my agent and this, that, and the other, but it's the buddy system. Mm-hmm. And so I know Bozeman, he's familiar with my system. He did well, but sometimes, you got to look in another direction. So I'm hoping that this offseason we address that position expeditiously.
Yeah, that's the brilliance of being a really good coach, right? That's the toughest part, I think. Managing the personalities, managing the people, finding the people to do the job that fit in with the rest of the team. This buddy system, look, KB, it's not just football. It's the entire world.
Everywhere, yeah.
So, and I get it. Sure. I get it because I think I would do the same thing if I was in a position of power and authority. But it's not always, because it is helpful. It's helpful to Harbaugh and the people that work underneath him, that they all get him and he gets them. But it doesn't always mean that you got the best guy. And I think that's the problem.
That's the problem.
I unfortunately or fortunately in this business, Jim, I've gotten a couple of jobs because I know people. But ultimately, and they've been like 2 of the best jobs I had. But ultimately, you had to go out and prove yourself, right? It wasn't, I'll help you get the job, but now that you've got the job, it's up to you, right? You don't keep the job because of me. You got the job because of the friendship. Now you have to earn it, right? And I think that is something that is missed a lot of times in professional sports. And not that Bradley Bozeman's not trying to earn it, but I just, my point is that there's probably a better solution, and it doesn't always have to be a friend or a guy that or a guy that you get along with. I think the best way is to find the best guy and then hope that he fits into the chemistry of what you're trying to do. Speaking of, go ahead.
Issue with that, Pete, you can have that in different aspects of this life, right? Where I know you get this job, but when it comes to the entertainment world, the sports world, a guy not performing well can cost you your job as a position coach, as an OC. And we can't sit here and say that the way that that offensive line performed didn't cost Greg Roman and the offensive line coach their jobs. So it's like, when we are doing this, I'm off. Listen, if I was in a position, I would do it too. But listen, you have to be able to do the job. And I think that's where it gets lost. I'm all for it. Everybody needs a helping hand. I'm all for it. But can you do the job? And in the NFL, it is the most cutthroat business I've ever been a part of. And oftentimes, more times than not, players get coaches fired. And so, okay, you had a relationship with Bozeman, but Stevie Wonder in a dark room, glasses on, could see that Bozeman was not the guy at center. So, again, I'm all for helping a friend out, but that don't mean you got to play. You can be on a roster, but that don't mean you got to play.
Yeah. I'm just seeing a lot of comments about nothing's official with Mike McDaniel yet. Just chill. And you do just a Google search for Mike McDaniel. Everything is reportedly will sign. Yeah. So it's hanging over my head and I can't get past it. I don't want to get too damn excited here because this is the guy I think we all wanted. And Sergio is saying, McDaniel will only sign officially when he gets the go-ahead from his agent, when the agent gets confirmation. How does Sergio know this? But anyway.
Yeah, Sergio, you need to come on the show.
Yeah. Not getting any of the head coaching jobs he's waiting for. And a lot of those are still open. So I get the point.
What head coaching job? What? What else are you up for that beats this job?
Well, if you're talking head position, I mean, in all reality,
they're all still open. Has anybody been hired as a head coach for all those openings?
Excuse me, do you want any of those jobs? Yeah, they're open.
I would absolutely take the Baltimore Raven job. You know why? Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I would absolutely take that job.
Well, reportedly Minter's in he's the lead guy for that. What I've been reading is that Minter canceled an interview with the Browns and is the
smart.
It's the front runner for the Ravens job. So
that's a smart man.
it's not good for us as Charger fans, as we'd love for him to come back. But that could work out where if Minter ends up in Baltimore and that's the only job McDaniel wants, then we get McDaniel, right? So let's hope that Minter ends up. That Minter's gone. I don't care. I'm sorry. He's going to go get a head coaching job. There's too many options out there. And I don't know why the Raiders always come up with both of these guys. And I don't think that either one of them end up in New York or in Vegas. So I feel like the Ravens the Ravens and Bills, I think, are the two number 1 and 2 options out there. So could the Bills,
Josh Allen, that's a, I think as a head, when you want to go be a head coach, right? Again, it always starts with who you have at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some teams. I mean, Tennessee's off the board. Salah, I hope I said his name right. The DC from the 49ers is the head coach with the Tennessee Titans now. But when you have it,
Robert Saleh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you have a quarterback, right? A good top tier, top 5 talented level quarterback, you'll look at those jobs. So again, for Mike McDaniel, if it's Baltimore, if it's Buffalo, those are some jobs that I would absolutely give some thought to.
Yeah, well,
but also going back to the owner, I don't know if I would want to go coach at a team with an owner who would come out and throw the coaching staff up under the bus the way that he did,
and the players.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah,
go back to your luxury suite.
What now? Real quick, what's that story again, Jim? I didn't see the presser. I just heard about it, and you apparently saw it. Like, what did he do? He just started throwing people. He jumped into the press conference.
He decided to join the press conference. First of all, that's a bad idea for any owner.
Yeah,
not a good idea. And he gets in there and sits down to being the general manager, who starts explaining. Somebody asked a question about Keon Coleman. Starts explaining, and he jumps in. Let me answer that. Let me get in here and step on my and show everybody how much I don't know about football. And he throws Keon Coleman under the bus, and he makes him look like the general man. He emasculates the general manager. Well, I stepped in, and then he turns out to be a liar on top of that, because on draft day they've got cameras rolling. Hey, you know that they've got these video camera things all over the place now. Pretty much like when you go outside, if you leave your house, you're on camera. Well, guess what? They had a camera on the general manager for the Buffalo Bills on draft day, talking about how excited he was to hire Keon Coleman. So he's a big fat liar too. So you're a jerk and a liar. Want to work for that guy? I don't think so. I wonder how much Josh Allen wants to work for that guy. That's what he needs to be worried about. I mean, you've pissed off the fan base, and you've pissed off anybody that was rooting for small market Buffalo. No, they just see billionaire idiot and think, okay, well, no sense in rooting for them anymore. Now, you absolutely got to make sure you're getting in bed with the right people. And this stuff all rolls downhill. It starts at the top. I mean, Pittsburgh has been very successful and only had 3 coaches, for all these years for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hugo Boss 760 is one of the regulars here, says that Stefanski left Cleveland, but it was fired. McDaniel canceled an interview with Cleveland as well. Minter canceled one with Cleveland, as we just mentioned. Not surprised. Who would want to work with the Browns? Same could be said for the Raiders. Same could be said for the Giants. There's a lot of teams out there that don't have coaches right now, and a lot of people are like not interested in that.
That's terrible.
Yeah, unless you're like, that's where you get the passing coordinator, because that to me is a pretty big jump to go from passing coordinator or quarterbacks coach to head coach. I'm not saying they don't deserve it, but I think you need a little bit more experience. That's an NBA thing, Oh, you were playing 3 years ago? You're a coach now. Like, when has that guy ever coached before? He's never coached before. What? I don't get that at all. After the break, I want to talk about the running backs. Obviously, Omari and Hampton will be back, but who will join him in the backfield? It is the Locked On Chargers Squad Show on the Locked On Chargers YouTube channel, where you find Daniel and David Monday through Friday with the Locked On Daily Chargers podcast. Today's episode of the Locked On Chargers Squad Show is brought to you by TurboTax. Tax season doesn't have to take over your life this year. TurboTax is making it easier than ever to just hand things off and move on with your day. There is nothing more in my life that makes my brain lock up and me glaze over than taxes. I absolutely love having a tax professional prepare taxes, because it's one of those things that I just don't have any knowledge or interest and desire in doing. There are other things in your life that you need to do, right? That have to happen, and you learn about those things because you need it. Taxes for me is just one of those things that I'm like, I don't want to know anything about it. I just want it to magically be finished. Well, that's where TurboTax will come in. TurboTax full service, you can have your taxes done for you by a trusted local expert, start to finish, without the stress and guesswork. For a limited time, you can have your taxes done by a local TurboTax expert for just $150 all in. If a TurboTax expert didn't file for you last year, just file by February 28th. TurboTax.com/local to book your appointment today. Again, visit TurboTax.com/local to book your appointment today. I just realized that it's a good thing it's not football season, or I'm baseball season rather, that we're still in football season, because I'm going to switch to my solo camera real quick. That Cubs blanket that's sitting behind me would get me crucified.
Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? We're Dodgers.
Yeah, we are, of course.
You do a Dodger show.
I lived in Chicago for a year. We go to visit Chicago once every couple of years. And generally when we're there, you go to a Cubs game. It's just what you do in Chicago. You go to a Cubs game. It's great. We were there. It of course was May or June, and we were freezing our ass off. And I bought that blanket, and I absolutely love it. It is so cozy. And out here in my little she shed, I have it on this little couch behind me, and I try to fold it up and hide it. And sometimes my daughter will come in here and use that blanket, and then she lays it out where it just says Cubs right across there. So fortunately, Charger fans, I don't think, care all that much. Dodger fans would not be happy. So I always have to remember to put that away when baseball season comes around. But KB, running backs for, as we talked about earlier, with Mike McDaniel as the potential new OC of the Chargers. Heavy emphasis on the run game, and that's what makes him good at what he does. So we look at Omari and Hampton. We know that he's going to only get better. Kamani Vidal was pretty good in Omari and Hampton's absence. He'll probably be back. The question still hangs over Najee Harris. What do we know other than he tore his Achilles and is trying to recover from that? He'll be a free agent. Like, what do you think? Like, if you're put your feet in Najee Harris's shoes, are you going to work your butt off to try to come back and be a Charger again?
I mean, one, you just want to work your butt off just to be back in general. Whether it's the Chargers or any of the 31 other teams, you just want to be as close to the player you were before the injury as you can get to. So for him, I think it's just a matter of getting somewhere. Whether or not he left a good enough impression on Ortiz and the Charger organization to where they want to bring him back after a one-year deal, or someone else out there. But if you look at if it is going to be McDaniels, right, and you look at his backfield, he's always had some speed guys. He's always had some real fast change of pace backs. And so when you get, I don't think, okay, yeah, if I'm a GM, I wouldn't either. You're not exactly. I was just about to say you're not the same after an Achilles injury. It's hard, especially for a running back where your entire career is based on you being able to cut, and that Achilles definitely plays a part in that. But anyway, when you look at if it's going to be Mike McDaniels, you got to look at the type of backs that he's had. Elijah Mitchell, a fast back. Raheem Mostert, a fast back. A-Chain, a fast back. I think you have to go out and pair Omari and Hampton with that good change of pace. I love Kamani Vidal, and I love what he was able to do, but I think you need someone who can come in and completely change the pace of the game, and that's something that we don't have.
Jim, who do you know is out there? I'm looking it up right now. Anybody Anybody jumping off the page that you would
Well,
like?
Brees Hall jumps off the page, but I don't think they're going to spend that kind of money. No,
absolutely not. He break the bank.
yeah. Kenneth Gainwell is somebody I like, and I like even more than that is Tyler Algier. And Tyler's been playing with in Atlanta, with another feature back, and still was able to be very successful. That'd probably be the top of my list. Would be Tyler Algier.
I like Rico out of Carolina as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like him a lot. I like him a whole lot. He has enough speed to get around the corner. He brings that physical aspect to his game as well. I like Rico a lot, and I think that would be a great pairing with him and Omari.
Javonte Williams is out there too, and I think I'd be interested to see Javonte Williams with Mike McDaniel and this Charger offense and Omari and Hampton and what that might create too. So there's several people to go out. I've seen several people pop on here this morning saying they don't expect Najee back. I don't expect him back either. I don't think that would. Look, I'm too long in the tooth. Too many physical problems and been around too long. I want a fresher face and a younger pair of legs than Najee.
26. What about Nick Chubb? He's 29. Is that too old to go get a man like that?
No. I am one of Chubb's biggest fans, but no.
What about Kenjon Barner? You got gas in the tank?
Oh, I got a lot of gas in the tank. What? Tank full.
I remember that guy.
Somebody calling for that at the start of the show. Where is it? Something about Kenjon Barner needs to get back in the league. Here he's like the Chargers
only. Look, that's it. Only to return punts and kicks. I don't want to take a single rep at running back. Only to return kicks. That is it. That is it, and that's all. And
I don't want to play away games either. I'm only playing at home.
And listen, if I plan away, the temperature has to be 65 and above.
Well, you're in the AFC West, so you're okay.
So Najee Harris is probably gone. I mean, it's gonna I don't think he's too old. 26 is still. You got a couple more good years.
No, it's not that he's old. It's just that injury is hard. That is a hard injury. And listen, medicine is so far advanced. And I've seen Najee. He's training at the gym that I trained at while I was getting ready out here at JLT in Hollywood. So I've seen him. He's moving. He's getting there. Sproles, legend. But that injury is just so hard. And for a back like Najee, who is a thumper, that explosion, you just don't know. It's a risk, right? You can take him, you can bring him back, and he can be exactly what you need. Or you bring him back and he doesn't look like what you saw before the injury. So it's a risk.
Do you run him through like a workout? Is that fair?
Oh, listen, do that? He's before any team signs him, he's going to go through the gauntlet of seeing doctors, and then he's absolutely going to get put through a workout, because I can't just go off of a doctor saying you're good to go. I need to put eyes on you and be able to see that you can move. I need to see that you can move laterally. I need to see that you can stop and get going. I need to be able to see you can move like a running back before I put money in your pocket.
Is A-Chain a free agent? Someone's saying that they are. That would be good. I love that guy. He is a beast.
I'm looking.
He's one of those guys. Like I look at guys. I fixed this to you at times, Kenjon, when you were with Oregon. Just beat the crap out of my team, right? Like H.N. ran all over the Chargers. So put that. We want that guy.
But speed, and he has it. I'm not seeing that he's a free agent.
I didn't see that in here at all.
I'm not seeing that.
Was the big name at the top.
Devon A-Chain is not a free agent currently. He's under contract with Miami through this coming season, so they'd have to trade for him. But that kind of guy. That's the kind of guy that the Chargers need. Explosive, fast, tough, all of those things. But the running game is going to be crucial. So we're going to have to focus on that. And as we take our final break here, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about this weekend's games as we watch longingly, hoping that maybe next year the Chargers are in the AFC Championship game. This year, we can still root for the team that beat the Chargers, right? So are we still on the Pats or are we on the Broncos? So we're going to get into that here in just a little bit after the break. It's the Locked On Chargers Squad Show on the Locked On Chargers YouTube channel. Today's episode brought to you by Indeed. If you ever hired someone who looked good on paper but wasn't the right fit, you know how important that is. When you want these candidates who truly match what you're looking for, Indeed is who you need to entrust with their sponsored jobs page. Hiring Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other sites. Indeed sponsored jobs put your post at the top of the page. It helps you reach the right candidates faster, and that is extremely important. Sponsored jobs boost your post to the people who are the best match for your role, and that makes a real difference. Spend more time interviewing candidates who check all the boxes with less stress, and getting the right people is so important to success at your business. So go check out Indeed.com. And if you're a listener, you use the code LOCKEDONNFL, you get $75 of sponsored job credit, helping you give your job post the premium placement it deserves. Again, Indeed.com/LockedOnNFL, Indeed.com/LockedOnNFL. So AFC, NFC championship games coming up Sunday. It's always like the Super Bowl is cool and all, but the AFC, the championship weekend to me is the best. Twice as many games, and even if you're not a fan of any of the teams for any reason, you can still get into it, and that's the cool part about it. One of the things I always look to for a big city like LA, when your team is out and there's another team in your city. There are not many cities that this happens in. One other, New York. But can you look around? I mean, maybe San Francisco to a certain extent, even though the Raiders are now in Vegas, most of their fans are still up there. So, can you look to the other team? Can you look across the street, if you will, or across the parking lot, and say, hey, I'm going to root for the Rams to beat the Seahawks? Or are we still rooting for the Patriots because they beat the Chargers? Or, do the Broncos, excite you because they're an AFC West team? Some people like to look at it that way and say, well, at least the team that is winning is from our division, and we beat that team once. So when you look at this weekend, KB, what's your thought process on how you're going to root, or are you just going to sit on the couch and eat some popcorn?
I'm stuck, right? Because I played in New England, got a ring with New England, but nobody that was in New England when I was there is currently there. So my allegiance to that team, my alliance, it's just not there. For me, I'm still right. It's minimal. For me, I'm still
there.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Kraft. I'm an LA guy, so you got the Rams, right? Went to school in the Pacific Northwest. My quarterback from Oregon, Bo Nix, is in the playoffs. So listen, I'm really all over the place. I can't go wrong. But for me, doing what we do, I would love for the Super Bowl champion to come from our division. And so I'm still not moving off the Denver Broncos. I'm trusting in their defense. And again, I think a lot of people are overlooking what Stidham can bring and what he's going to be able to do. Sean Payton is not a guy who likes trash as a backup. And so I think New England will be in for a surprise. But I'm rolling with Denver. As I'm looking at it, I'm staying with Denver until the wheels fall off.
What do you think, Jim?
People automatically think that the Broncos are dead because they lost their quarterback, and I don't agree with that at all. I think I'm going to climb on the wagon here with Kenjon and talk about, because number one, I mean, sometimes you want the team that beat you to go on and win it, but I can't. Sorry, KB, I can't root in a conscious mind. I can't root for the Patriots. I can't do that. I'm from LA. We hate everything from Boston. I don't like nothing from there. I don't ever want to see them win anything ever again. Maybe that's a tiny bit. But Stidham is, I think, was being overlooked here. I mean, this guy's going to play better quarterback than people think. This is going to be a closer game. You think the Patriots are not that good a team. They're Cinderella, in my opinion, and it's about to strike midnight. It may happen this weekend.
I agree. I think that's a great story. Look, the Pats offense somehow figured out a way to win them that game. They were not very good in spite of the I don't like that game makes no sense to me because the Texans defense played well in that game and still the Pats won. Yeah. So this game is real interesting because of the Stidham factor. And that's like the underdog aspect of it to me, I think is what you root for here, right? The AFC West aspect of it. I agree with you, Jim, on the Patriots in Boston. It's a great city. I love visiting Boston, but you can't root for anything from that area if you're from LA.
I'm talking. We got real Laker fans in here.
That's exactly.
We all know where it's coming from.
Magic Johnson fixed that for us.
Yeah.
Made us be able to go on with life.
Boston fans are up there with Philly fans and I think Denver fans.
Now wait a minute. What about Philly fans?
Okay, well, Philly fans, the description of Philly fans, Boston fans, Denver fans, and to a certain extent, LA fans are this way as well. A complete overconfidence in your team. Even if your team is no good, you're like, we're the best, and screw everybody else. Boston is that way. Denver is that way. Their team can have one win the year before, and they're like, we're going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Pete, I call it ignorant confidence.
Yeah,
it's ignorant confidence.
Yeah, well,
I like that.
It's a blind allegiance, right?
If
you're not in that, you're like offended by it, right?
Listen, you got to throw Cowboy fans in there as well.
Oh yeah,
please, yes.
They're at the top. They're at the top of the totem pole.
Blind loyalty.
Yeah.
But
every year is their year.
I think Stidham and the Broncos. That's a fun story. I'm going to be rooting for the Broncos there, and the Seahawks.
They're not rooting for the Broncos.
Yeah, come on. It's more fun when you pick a side. Pick a side, Jim.
Yeah. That doesn't mean I'm rooting. I'm not rooting.
Pick a side and plant your flag, okay?
Exactly. Go get. I remember when I was a kid, for no damn reason that I was 10, probably I had a Broncos jacket. Probably because I just loved how bright it was. That bright orange crushed color thing, And I always remember whenever they wear those old uniforms, I'm like, yeah, that reminds me of that jacket I had when I was a kid. Never really a fan though, but the Seahawks Rams game I think is going to be the better game.
That's going to be a phenomenal game. Again, another game, third matchup of the season. That's going
to be a grind.
I'm not looking past Seattle. Game in Seattle.
Yeah. Seattle played great in their last time out, and they ran the ball so effectively, that they made the offense just click and looking smooth and easy. And
lost Charbonnet too, by the way.
Oh, really? Oh,
what'd you say? Yeah, ACL.
Oh, that's tough.
Bad timing.
Their running game is obviously important to their success. But here's the thing that's interesting. You want to make the game easier for Sam Darnold, and I think the more they run the ball, that's going to be the case. But you look at the numbers from the two previous matchups between the Rams and the Seahawks. That one Rams Seahawks game where they had over 300 yards for the quarterback and every offensive stat went in their favor and they figured out a way to blow the game. It was just a complete anomaly. The Rams have put up 29.5 points in two games against the Seahawks and 415 yards, but yet the Seahawks have been in both of those games and came from behind to win one of them. So you look at this and say, yeah, right now, if you were to ask me who's playing better, it's the Seahawks. But the fact that they have so much history together makes this game a total coin flip for me. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes. And of course, that home field advantage for Seattle up there.
12th man.
Huge.
12th man is a real thing.
Yeah,
it's a real thing. It's hard to bet against Stafford. I was walking through the building and somebody, they know that I play ball and know what I do, and they yelled out from their balcony last week. And that was asking me about the Rams game. And my response to him, I was like, I would love for Chicago to get it done, but it is absolutely hard to bet against Matt Stafford. That dude is so talented. He can make every throw on the field, every arm angle you need him to throw the ball from. So when it comes down to quarterback play, you got to give the edge to the Rams. But if you're talking about the way a team is playing and they're being on the right trajectory, it's the Seahawks. So again, that's going to be by far, I think, I don't know. I think both of these games are going to be phenomenal games. I think they're going to be better than, especially that New England and Denver game. You got two good you got a good defense and you got a great defense, right? Denver Broncos has the best defense in the NFL. So I think all of these games, I think we're in for a treat this weekend. I really do. I really think we're in for a treat.
I stepped in at KB. No true Charger fan is going for the AFC West or the Donkeys.
The Donkeys. Thank you. Thank you.
Wait, who's the Donkeys?
The Denver Donkeys.
I'm not buying any gear, Jayhawk and Charger fan. I'm just
Jayhawk and Charger. You're my guy. You're my guy.
For Sunday, I'm going to root for the Broncos. Quietly, I'm not going to go on.
Quiet. You should look. You should. You walking on a thin line anyway with the fan.
There's no right answer in that game, right?
No, there's not.
No,
there's not. But listen,
okay,
I'm rooting for Denver. I'm rooting for Denver. Okay,
got my back.
I got your back.
Not making anybody happy. I'm going to sit quietly and not really pay attention. I'll be on my phone doom scrolling as that game is happening. All right, does that make you all?
I'm at my daughter's volleyball game. Leave me alone.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us. One final thing from you, Pete. Your first mistake was announcing your pick. Well, hey, you know what? That will help you guys. Just take the Patriots and you'll be in the money. That's going to do it for us. The Locked On Chargers Squad Show Midweek Edition 2. We will be back with you next week again. We're going to do this all off season long, and we appreciate you guys. Like, big turnout today. So thanks a lot for jumping in and joining us. Appreciate you watching and listening. And of course, as always, appreciate the comments. For Kenjon Barner, 10 years in the league, and Jim Daniels, I am Pete Fox. We will talk next week. Have a good one and enjoy the championship Sunday.